Good afternoon. My name is Theo Bennett. I'm a client strategist here at MoreVisibility, and with me today is Joe Teixeira, our manager of web intelligence. And today we want to introduce you to Google Analytics. So with that being said, Joe, what is Google Analytics, or what we refer to as GA?
It's the best program ever, that's what it is. It's also a web analytics tool. It's a trending and analysis tool. So if you are looking for information about who comes to your site, what do they do on your site, where they enter your site, where they leave your site, what search terms they may be using on your internal search tool, just as an example, Google Analytics will do all that for you. And that's basically what it is. It's just a trending and analysis tool and a way for you to get more information about your website's visitors.
Great, great. So rather than just looking at hits or visits, this really gives you a good feel for what people might be doing on the website and what might be leading to business for your company.
That's right. So if your website has any forms for people to fill out, any PDFs or movie files for them to download, or even if you have an online shopping store where you transact and take money and send items out, Google Analytics can do all that for you and can help track the effectiveness of all that and help you make good business decisions. That's the most important thing, Theo. Good business decisions for your website. That's what Google Analytics specializes in doing.
Great, great. So it's tracking all the visitors to the site, telling you what they're doing, how somebody found your PDFs or your form that they filled out, what search terms, maybe they came from a newsletter, things like that. So how does it track all that information? How does it work?
Well, it's kind of complex, but let me see if I can just simplify it. Layman's terms, absolutely. So when anyone visits a website that has the Google Analytics tracking code installed, up to 4 first-party cookies, and that's the important thing, Theo, they're first-party cookies, are set on that person's machine. This information is then sent to Google Analytics servers for processing, and then in about a couple of hours, you have data right at your fingertips if you're the website owner. So cookies get dropped on a person's computer, information is sent to Google Analytics servers, and that information is sent and processed and made look pretty for the reporting purposes, and that's how the basic process works.
So Google Analytics will install these cookies on a user's browser session.
That's right.
Is it hard to install to get it up and running, Google Analytics?
It's not hard to install at all. As long as you have the access to edit the files of your website, and you just have to be able to know how to edit that, of course. All you have to do is drop a few lines of JavaScript code on every single page of your website, upload that website, and boom, just like that.
Great. So
you'll have data.
A few lines of code, and you're able to get some great intelligence from your site.
Right, that's all it takes.
Good. And why would you want to use Google Analytics versus some other programs that are out there? There's a lot of great companies that produce solutions like Omniture and their Site Catalyst program, Web Trends, etc. Why use Google Analytics or GA instead of some of those other programs?
Well, the number one thing about Google Analytics that sort of separates itself from Omniture and Web Trends, which are excellent programs, by the way. They're excellent programs in their own. Let me use the whiteboard to explain really quick here why you should use Google Analytics. And that's the cost part of Google Analytics. And I know this is a very complex mathematical equation, but that's the cost of Google Analytics right there, $0. So it's totally free for everyone in the entire whole wide world. Go to google.com/analytics, and if you have a Google account, you can get a Google Analytics account just like that. No upfront charges, no back-end charges, no being charged in 3 months because you use Google Analytics. Totally free for everyone, so that's the number one reason why you would want to use something like Google Analytics. Second reason is the friendliness and the use of the data that you'll be able to get out of it. Google Analytics, Theo, as you know, very, very friendly program to use. You do not have to wait 3 or 4 hours to run a report and download it and then process the log file and go to lunch and come back and it's still running. None of those things happen with Google Analytics. It's very fast, it's very secure like we talked about the first party cookies, and of course this important factor right here, especially in today's world, totally free.
So first party cookies, since you bring that up, why is that important, and is somehow Google watching what I do, what websites I go to, because companies have Google Analytics installed?
No, Google doesn't watch. There's no big brother thing happening here. So the definition of first-party cookies, that website that you visit is the website that sets those cookies, and only that website is able to read those cookies. So for example, if you visit MoreVisibility.com, that website will drop 4 first-party Google Analytics cookies. Only MoreVisibility.com's website can read those cookies and use that data to send to Google Analytics servers for processing. Google.com, Yahoo.com, NBC.com, whatever site.com cannot read and open up those cookies. Google Analytics also won't share your information with anybody else out there. So only MoreVisibility.com can collect, drop those cookies, and then access those cookies at a later date to be able to read and view and send the information to Google Analytics. Nobody else can view this information. Only that website can view the information, which is, of course, first-party cookies.
So there's no privacy issues, and it's secure.
Right, it's totally secure. You can feel 100% safe by using Google Analytics. No need to worry about Big Brother or Big Sister or Big Grandmother watching you. Nothing to worry about there. Google Analytics is totally secure and safe.
So we have a free program that lets you track everything you're doing online so you can make smarter business decisions and really see what is driving to sales for your company. There's no privacy concerns.
Right.
Very easy to install and no cost.
Right, so just with a little bit of installation work and a little bit of teamwork with your IT department, yeah, you'll be able to use Google Analytics in almost no time at all. It's really that simple.
So it's easy to use. What kind of traffic can I track with Google Analytics? Is it just my Google AdWords campaign or just Google organic traffic? What does it actually give me?
It gives you everything. So it gives you all types of traffic that come to your website. Big misconception, Theo, out there is that Google Analytics can only track AdWords data. This is false. Google Analytics can track all kinds of data. Cost per click data, organic traffic, direct traffic, so someone who has you bookmarked or types your URL into their address bar, or any links that you have out there on any sites. So if you have a link out there on your friend's website or on a business partner's website, somebody clicks on that, Google Analytics can track that too. So it doesn't just track AdWords data or AdWords cost per click, clicks or impressions or anything like that. All kinds of data that comes to your website, Google Analytics can collect that information and track it.
What about extending that to, say, a newsletter campaign you're doing or a print advertisement or a radio broadcast? And is there somehow you can make that work so Google Analytics can give you that data too?
Oh, absolutely. So if you have a newsletter campaign out there, if you're using some kind of banner ads out there on the internet, you just have to append a little bit of tagging on the end of those URLs, and when somebody clicks on any one of those initiatives, Google Analytics will be able to collect that information and be able to present it on the reports. So it can track those too. So
you really get a full picture of all the visitors to your website, how they got there. It's free, easy to install, and you get data almost immediately.
There's over 100 different reports, things like advanced segmentation, custom reporting, motion charts, funnel visualization, e-commerce. I can go on and on forever, Theo, as you know. So there's so many different reports to look at. It is free, it's easy to use, easy to install. We can't repeat that enough, believe us. And yeah, so you should really use GA.
So how does someone get started then?
Someone gets started by going to google.com/analytics. Signing up with the Google account if you have one. Even if you don't have a Google account, that only takes about a minute to set that up with any email address out there. So another misconception, Theo, you don't have to specifically have a Gmail account. You can have any email account in the world. So go to google.com/analytics, and very quickly right there's a big link, I guess it's on this side, that says sign up now or get started now. Click on that and your journey begins just like that.
Great. All right, thank you very much. Thanks, Joe.
All right, sir, thank you.
Have a great day.
You too, thank you.